Hey, I'm working in here.
This could have been a lot worse. This technician should have turned off the power at the breaker, locked it out and tagged it prior to changing the light fixture. Lockout tagout refers to the process of isolating an uncontrolled energy source and using a tag to communicate this information to others. Lockout tagout does not only apply to electricity, other applications may include turning off a water supply to do plumbing work, shutting down a trash compactor, or taking a defective tool or piece of equipment out of service. The main purpose is to prevent the unexpected startup of equipment during maintenance or installation. Before we go any further, let's go over some key terms. Lockout refers to the practice of using a keyed security device to prevent unwanted startup of mechanical or electrical equipment, or to prevent the release of other uncontrolled energy sources. Tagout refers to the practice of applying a tag, along with a lock, to increase the visibility, traceability, and awareness that equipment is not to be energized or activated until such devices are removed. Lockout devices must be easily identifiable and shall not be used for any other purpose. Tags shall provide specific information such as "do not operate" and must include the name of the person performing the lockout along with the date. Locks must be key operated, no combination locks, and there should only be one lock per key, no exceptions. Let's take a look at some lockout devices that you may be asked to use. It is important to only use a lockout device that is specifically designed for the equipment or process that you are working on. This device is for locking out electrical breakers. Be sure to use the correct size and never work on electrical equipment until you have been properly trained. This is a hasp lockout device. It can be used to lock out faucets, valves, and other equipment. This device is used to lock out a light switch. It goes over the light switch and prevents it from being turned on. This is a plug lockout device. It is designed to prevent a plug from being used when a piece of electrical equipment is in need of service. An authorized employee is a person who implements a lockout-tagout procedure on machines or equipment to perform service or maintenance. Authorized employees must be properly trained on the hazards associated with the equipment that they are working on, and they must know how to use appropriate lockout devices. An affected employee is anyone whose job requires him or her to operate or work in an area where such servicing or maintenance is being performed. The key here is for the authorized employee to properly notify and communicate to all affected employees that a lockout is taking place prior to beginning work and, again, once the work has been completed. In the scenario at the beginning of this video, the maintenance technician performing the work was the authorized employee, and the individual who turned on the light switch was the affected employee. Let's see how lockout-tagout could have prevented that accident. First, the technician should identify the power source to the fixture that he needed to change. He may need to consult with a supervisor for this. Once he has identified the power source, he then must notify anyone who might enter the unit while he is performing this task. This could be the community manager, tenants, sales agents, or even another maintenance technician. This notification must include a description of the work and approximately how long it will take. The next step is to de-energize the light fixture by turning off the appropriate breaker. It's important to remember that this circuit breaker may de-energize other outlets. The next step is to apply a tag, lockout device, and a lock. But we're not finished yet. Always test the circuit before you begin work to make sure that it's de-energized. In this case, this can be accomplished by simply turning on the light switch. Once the work is complete, replace all guards and safety devices. Then you can remove the lock and tag and re-energize the circuit. The next step is to notify anyone who is affected by your work. This video provides basic information about lockout-tagout procedures. However, the actual process may be more complicated and will require additional training and supervision. Before you perform any work that requires the application of a lock and a tag to control a hazardous energy source, you will need additional training. For more information about lockout-tagout procedures, refer to Section 112 of the Conifer Maintenance Manual. Report unsafe conditions or repair unsafe conditions immediately. The demonstrations in this video are just a few of the tasks that you will perform using lockout-tagout. Consult with your supervisor before performing any task that you have not been properly trained on. If you have additional questions about lockout-tagout, contact the maintenance supervisor at your property, the maintenance mentor for your community, or consult risk management.